I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Jeff, would you call the roll, please?
Calendar.
Here.
Short.
Here.
Goddard.
Here.
Gambino.
Here.
Left.
Here.
Bates.
Here.
And Grant.
Aye.
We have a quorum.
And 100% attendance, that's really lovely. Accounts payable?
You mean minutes?
Oh, I mean minutes, sorry. Minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second, okay, moved by Goddard, seconded by Short. Any discussion? Call roll, please.
Short.
Yes.
Goddard.
Yes.
Gambino.
Yes.
Left.
Yes.
Bates.
Yeah.
Grant. Calendar.
Yes.
So
The
moved.
minutes are approved, okay. Now accounts payable.
Mayor Left, I move that we approve accounts payable as presented, and I can answer any questions if there are.
Is there a second? By Gambino, seconded by Goddard. Any discussion? Call roll, please.
Goddard.
Yes.
Gambino.
Yes.
Left.
Yes.
And Bates.
Yeah.
Grant.
Aye.
Calendar.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
So moved.
Special orders, anything? Reports of officers, boards, or standing committees. Anybody out there? No? Anybody at the table? No? Okay. Public comments. Does anyone out there have anything they would like to say?
Too hot.
Hi, okay. It's been moved and seconded. Okay. All right,
A oral decree is in order.
let's say it again.
A mayoral decree is in order regarding the temperature.
Oh, yeah, but I can't say it. Okay, unfinished business, let's talk about the harbor pilings and dredging. Anything to say?
So we're still gathering info for funding. Jeff and I are working on that. But as far as the repairs of current pilings that are dangerous, as 8 away and at certain really minor size, they have, the integrity of them could fail. So we're working with a contractor who's very busy. It's a busy time of the year, but we're trying to come up with ideas to possibly remove one of them and try to put a temporary repair on the other. Working with Harbor Master on that. So still getting that info. We'll get that update to the hopefully the Harbor Commission.
Timeline to be able to have it.
Hopefully by first or second week of September. I mean, we're trying to do what investigative work we have as far as the work being done. We haven't really even scheduled anything with it, but we're saying we need it to be expedited as soon as possible. But we're working with Phil Sexton, who did the wharf removal down here for us. He's
It really becomes an issue about mid-October.
yeah,
That's super critical.
yeah, that's how right. And we get this occasional storm by then also, but the tides are real low.
The surge at a low tide is what's going to be an issue.
So I'll try to get, as soon as I get something as far as a repair date, then we'll get that.
Okay, we'll move on. Oh, did you have a question? No? Okay. We'll move on to the nuisance complaint. Once again, the market property. Great.
Still working with, I've got a hold of Al Eames. Myself got the information to Corey and the attorney moving forward with getting a letter drafted to Mr. Martin and giving him a timeline as far as what the judge's order to, I mean, it could be vacated, but we may have to go in there with officers to either hand in the notice or just shut them down and vacate the premises.
Yeah, what I know about it extra is that the building inspector and the state fire marshal are kind of pointing fingers at each other.
Yeah.
And fire marshal didn't really want to do anything, and so Al leaves, it's on his, either one of those violations would be enough to shut him down. So we're just waiting.
They did approve, they went in and saw that it was obvious, people are living there, plus that the firewall wasn't complete, all the issues that are the high priority. So that's what gave Corey enough to get the information to talk to the judge.
I'm curious, what does shutting down really mean? Does it mean literally lock him up?
At least get the people out who are staying there. And at that point, yes, it should be able to actually shut them down as an actual business.
Well, he's operating without a license right now,
Right.
if he is operating, if he is.
Well, I noticed the doors are open again.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, but as far as the people living there and stuff, that would, I guess with help of the officers, and make sure that they're completely out of there, not in danger.
So it really is different than just what's been done so far.
Well, yeah, because ultimately you do have to have a judge order a sheriff's deputy to literally, don't want to get too descriptive, they literally pull people out of their property sometime.
Okay. Get your belongings and, yeah.
Yeah, it gets that ugly, so hopefully it happens before winter sets in, it gets worse.
well, why don't we encourage Corey to help the court move along faster so it isn't winter?
I think we're just waiting on Al right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to get the documentation of non-compliance, right?
Unfortunately, summer's is business,
It's
you know,
hard,
for
yeah.
building permit people too. They're all over, he's all over the county, you know, approving construction.
One, I'm a little concerned since we've not given them a business license and they're operating a large-scale business. Why are we allowing them to keep signs up? And the other thing, I hope if we do have to get law enforcement involved to get them out of there and close it down, I hope it's not maybe early in the morning. No, really.
No, I understand.
Or the dark of night.
It's an ugly business.
Well, it's not, yeah, we're a tourist town,
No, you're right.
you know, everything is reported partially in the papers.
They can barely keep up with the abandoned RVs. I mean, the whole county is just, and it really hurts their budget every time they come across a derelict RV. It's not like coming across a derelict car. That has to be, you know, there's sewage on board. There's all kinds of things they've got to deal with, and it just drains their budget. So, yeah, for the $35 we pay them to go out and do it, trust me, they put in way more work than that. I mean, hopefully this is going to be that bad, but it's.
Is the Martin property in arrears for property taxes? Do we know?
I think there may be some history. Corey did go back, check it, but I can't remember exactly.
Why don't you find that out
Yeah.
and let us know?
We can. I know that the building was purchased, there was some history on, the building, but I don't exactly recall what the back tax information was.
Okay. Anything else on that? Okay, employee salary survey?
Yes, everybody received all of the job descriptions, and was there any questions or comments about anything of that? Because we're going forward, the contract has been sent to LGPI, and we've all selected the cities that we're going to compare with, and so we're ready to go.
We need council actions now.
Yes. I think she's asking for council.
So,
Deb?
Okay. Well, might be tiny, but I did read every one of these, and one thing I think that would be nice if we consider is putting in the words, must be able to work as part of a team, or something about teamwork. Because in my years with the city of Beaver, that was one of the things that could really mess up an organization. One lone ranger who doesn't, I mean, everybody's always going, there's going to be minor personality conflicts in any organization, but they still have to work as a team. I
mean, I don't see any problem with doing that, but whether we do it or not, I don't think that has to hold up the next step.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, but that's a nice idea. Yes, Jerome?
well, no, I see what you're saying, except now, I think because our employees are not represented by a union, we have at-will employment here. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that if it comes to firing for including that in the job description is that you don't work as a team member, but that's kind of hard to prove. You don't want to argue somebody about that, believe me. So, I mean, in the end, because of our position, at least for now, we can let somebody go for no reason whatsoever. This long, it's not because of,
Bad reason.
national origin or religion or.
I would hope that we would never do that. Yes, Rob?
Do we want to go over certain issues with each one at this point? Because I do have some issues that are very minor, typos, things like that, inclusions
Oh, yeah, I
or
found typos too,
exclusions.
but I just,
Yeah.
Or do we not worry about that right now?
I wouldn't worry about that right now. I think what's more important is that we get the survey going
Yeah.
so that we can actually find out if we're where we need to be with salaries.
Okay.
Because in a major way, these are done. We're making little fixes, but we have what we need to do that. Yeah, and I would be happy to entertain the motion. By Short, seconded by
Gambino,
Yes.
Left,
yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Grant,
Aye.
Callender,
yes.
Over with Catherine. Okay, next item on the agenda is the Depoe Bay Glen Sanitary District Agreement. And I would be happy to entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we direct council, as discussed in the executive session, to draft a letter.
By Grant, seconded by Gambino. Any further discussion?
Left,
Yes.
Bates,
Yeah.
Grant.
Aye.
Callender.
Yes.
Short. Goddard. Gambino.
Next item on the agenda is the State of Oregon Department of Environmental Quality public hearing,
Thanks, Jeff.
City of Depoe Bay, proposed water quality permit renewal. I believe that. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
We really appreciate
Have a
it.
good night.
Okay.
I believe that hearing is tomorrow night.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So, it's our NEPDES permit, which is, acronyms for, basically, it's a permit through the state DEQ for the city to, discharge effluent from the wastewater treatment with our permit. We're also, part of this is the biosolids, permitting to haul our biosolid, which is, another word for, sewage, activated sludge. It's treated, it goes on the farm. Just went to a meeting up north, and they said that term biosolids is used as just a fancy name for dumping sewage, but it's really not. It is treated activated sludge, and it's like a fertilizer. What the new biosolids dewatering system press that we're having installed is that the council's moving forward. We're all familiar with. That also is part of the product will be a dry class B fertilizer. And that we could take that to the landfill, but if we move forward down the road also with a gas line and heating it and bringing it to a certain degree of almost like pasteurization of it, it can be used as a regular fertilizer. So anyway, basically what that is, so why they had a hearing is the public has an option to contest it, or if enough people come forward, more than 14, I believe, that 15th person wants to have a say in it, then it becomes a hearing, and that's what was created. So we had to provide a building, which is the community hall, that'll hold enough votes, which may just be this River Watch group that's Save the SOS, Save the Siletz River group out of Siletz, Logston area, Toledo. So some of the folks that were at tonight or this afternoon's meeting in Lincoln City may be there, but it's just they really, it's not a stage for them to vent. The DEQ will be there representing the city in the renewal and answering any questions. Will be Paul Kennedy from DEQ, who's the biosolids manager for our district, and then myself and Gary Walls, our plan.
First you mentioned the affluent that we transmit out to the sea.
Right.
But this is more about what we have been doing by spreading it on farm property.
Yeah, it kind of covers all that.
Okay, so they're gonna discuss everything.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, and that permit is just it's every so many years, and it's our time to renew it. But this renewal is actually we're really updated. We're in good shape. We have that backup unit. I mean, we're really doing well. We should have it. Yeah. We're doing well.
We hope to see as many counselors as can make the meeting, the hearing. I'll be there. Of course, Brady.
They asked for the room. I told them I would put up I told them I'd put up a podium, small PA system. We don't know how many folks are going to show up, but they asked for coffee. I thought I'd get water, coffee, enough chairs, few tables, podium. I think we'll be fine.
Good.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock at the community.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we have one more item under unfinished business, and then the sheriff's office would like us to meet someone we probably have not met before. And so we'll take a 5-minute break to do that after we do the boat shed. Is somebody out there going to talk about the boat shed? Jeff? Oh, you are?
Yeah, Mayor, no,
Yes.
I'm just here to answer any questions you might have.
Oh, okay. Do we have any questions about the boat shed? We have talked about this.
So I could get an update real quick.
Yes.
Okay, so the Neighbors for Kids have a rowing club, and currently they have, I think, 6 rowboats. 6, right in there. Anyway, there's 6 or 7 rowboats, and they're not real big. But currently they've been storing them in the storage unit place up here to the south. The boats are usually left down in the harbor, and they're having to transport them down there. So they're asking the city if they could put a storage shed, which is on the skid. It's not a permanent building, but it's a small outbuilding that is also going to integrate a little room off to the side that the city can store boom. And yeah, here's a good photo of what it is. We'll have a little side door on the end, for us to store. Great, because right now we have them in barrels and little, out emergency. So, it's a small shed on skids, it can be moved, easily. So, that being the reason Larry and I looked at it, and it doesn't fall into really anything because it is removable and on skids, that could be kind of like the Coast Guard auxiliary shed for inspections, could be moved. But it provides a shelter for the boats, and it's right there, it's helping the kids out. Paddle boats up and down here.
Is there any action you need from us here before you approve it?
I think we did, it's just maybe getting the council updated if there's any questions, any concerns, but I appreciate the fact that some, emergency, oil spill room is used, it's really neat.
Close by.
Yeah.
Yes,
Madam Mayor, Chris Silver, 420 Southwest Cardinal Street. Just to be clear, Neighbors for Kids is buying the shed and providing the door for the booms. And what we're asking of the city is to repair a plot there. Because the fellow that's on the bottom.
We have a small gravel pad. Basically, we're going to remove maybe some gravel, put some weed paper down on the roll, and then put gravel on it and set it in place. Or use the backbone for it, just set it right there. So.
thank you, Bruce. Yes,
I have one question. I don't think I dreamt this, I think I read it somewhere. Someone was concerned about its placement and the view from, I believe, the harbor parking lot to see across the bridge to the.
Yeah, I think there was other placement. There was there was talk of having it in another spot that would have been by the oil recycling building, which would have blocked some. But now it's by the harbor shed up against the bank.
good, okay. We will now take a 5-minute break, and the deputy will be right back.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Bruce.
Thank you.
Bonnie,
Bonnie,
yes, we are going to
Bonnie,
meet
or
Bonnie.
Betty?
Bonnie,
Okay.
we are going to meet Bonnie.
Flies over the ocean.
Bonnie,
I'm not going to shut
Bonnie
this off, I'm
Slides.
just going to let it run.
partner.
And Clyde's other half.
With a tail.
My favorite kind.
So a new deputy dog.
P9. Yeah.
Amen.
Wow, that's cool.
That's why I have so many of them. I love dogs.
I'm a cat guy.
Well, this is a very dog-friendly.
My dog is a cat girl too. she loves to chase cats.
My dog chased the cutest fawn the other day. But the fawn was really interested in, they were almost nose to nose.
Yeah.
She didn't chase
Well,
it.
Mayor.
but the
Yeah.
fawn ran off.
We had ones that used to chase our Jack Russell when he was little. And he wouldn't even go out and go to the bathroom because he was afraid of them.
It's good to stand up, doesn't it?
Oh.
Yes.
Yes. Not fall down.
Actually, it's.
I have to get talk to you one of these days.
Okay.
I am going to
Good.
the
Rodeo.
Association of Oregon Recorders conference, and we're putting together a basket of
Start taking my knife out.
and it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Okay.
And I know you have AP down here, right?
Local?
What now?
Liquor. And
Oh, everywhere, yeah.
yeah, I want to see if I can get my hands on a bottle of something to put in that basket.
Oh, not liquor, but beer.
Yes. Would that be possible?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
We just got a new can of growler, so we can do more cans.
That would be.
So those of you that haven't had a chance to meet Bonnie in person,
If you don't mind.
No, we're into that.
Okay.
Look,
Oh, beautiful.
I'm gonna slip by.
You're fine.
Is he gonna be okay?
she will be
She
fine.
will be
Yep.
okay. Well, if I would've known that, I know I'd been.
Bonnie's a part of our patrol deputy team. Bonnie and I have been together for the last year, a little over a year. She's a patrol canine. She's a 5.5-year-old German Shepherd. Everybody mistakes her for a boy, and everybody thinks she sniffs drugs. She's not. The original purpose of police canines way back in the day, the reason they came over from Europe and made prominence in the United States was for their patrol capabilities. In other words, using their superior nose and their sense of smell, as well as their agility and ability to hunt, to locate, track down, and find fleeing and hiding subjects. Of course, they also have the ability to use their mouth, with the power of their jaws and their body, to apprehend suspects who run, fight, or protect me or anybody else if they try to engage in some kind of a physical altercation with me. She's with me everywhere I go. She's been with the sheriff's office a little over 3 years. She started with her original handler, who no longer works in the sheriff's office. He transferred back to his hometown of Redmond, and I took her over. Since me taking over Bonnie and taking over the program, we've been able to add a second canine to our team. In fact, Deputy Smith and his canine partner Nix, a female Belgian Malinois. Here.
I thought it'd be a boy named Clyde. You know, that would be
right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are finishing up their last week of training. In fact, by Thursday, end of business. Bonnie, here, knock. By the end of Thursday, they will have graduated their 6-week canine school and be a certified canine team. Again, Nix is just like Bonnie, and she is a patrol dog, so we don't care about drugs. All we do is we find people. And she's been instrumental in us being able to track down and find fleeing subjects, people who would normally evade capture, and we would have to then submit for warrants and hope to find them at some other time. She's able to help us find them in the moment. And again, Bonnie, because of where she falls in the world of use of force, is typically and almost predominantly used in felony cases. These are people who have committed some serious felonies and need to be off the streets. One case in particular I like to tell the story about was down in between Waldport and Yachats. Technically it was a Yachats address. I was working North County as a North Deputy, and I would drive all the way down to the Yachats area for a male subject who'd been engaged in a domestic disturbance with his pregnant girlfriend. He had basically beaten her up, dragged her by the hair, pulled her out of the truck, took her in the house, locked her in the house. She tried to get away, beat her up some more, strangled her, all while she's pregnant with their child. While law enforcement was en route, he heard us coming, of course, ran out the back door and evaded the original responding deputy. He called for our assistance. We showed up with another deputy, and after about an hour and a half of searching, we located him and took him into custody without incident. And in a situation like that, that's somebody who's realized they've committed some pretty serious crimes, and then they are at a higher propensity to commit more crimes, to continue to evade capture, or just they've realized they've screwed up. So having Bonnie available to the community and to the residents in Lincoln County is just invaluable. Not to mention the protection she offers us as deputies. I mean, I can send her into a building. Imagine we get an alarm call to City Hall here. We come and the front door's been kicked open, right? And we get a decent perimeter and we believe somebody's inside. Traditionally, we have to come in here just by ourselves. And as you've been in this room or in this building, you know there's many places to hide and ambush us and cause us harm. But I can send her in on a search and bite command, and she's going to search for and bite whoever's in here. And they get a couple of announcements to give up and come out. Otherwise, she's coming in to bite them. And trust me, she's sweet and nice, and she's going to get a chance to meet some of you here in a second. But go say hi. Go say hi. But as soon as she flips a switch, she turns into a pretty terrorizing animal.
Don't flip the switch.
Not here, not now. Everybody always says, you know, why do we need handlers? Well, because it's my job to keep her in check. She's great, but she's still an animal.
Does she need some water?
No, she's very, very good. She's been in the car. We leave it running 24/7. It is currently a cool 64 degrees in her cabin. So, so I just want to give a chance to meet you guys. I didn't think that I didn't know that since her coming to our office that she had not come and done a meet and greet with your council or with some of your citizens. We do demonstrations all the time where I have an opportunity to come and speak for closer to 30 minutes or so, and then we do a small demonstration of some of her obedience and some of her bite work. If that's something you guys would like to entertain at a future meeting and publicize, you just let us know, and we're more than happy to brag about our assets. And by that time, we could probably have both dogs here. But there's so much more we could talk about, but this is just a quick little meet and greet. If you ever see the patrol vehicle, say K9 on the side. If I'm stopped and not doing anything, come say hi. If we're in a good mood and she's not been just recently working, we'll get her out to say hi. If she's just been working, sometimes she gets a little jacked up, and we want to keep everybody's fingers intact. She's not mean, but everything these dogs are taught from the second they come out of the mama is using their mouths for everything. So she's pretty fantastic. She's an amazing partner, and I have the luckiest, most awesomest job in the world to have her. So.
Well, thank you so much
Yeah.
for bringing her in.
Officer, do you keep her at home?
Yeah, she lives with me 24/7. So days
Oh,
on
wow.
work, she's with me. Days off, she's with me. She's got a beautiful, nice kennel, probably nicer than some homeless people live. Gets cleaned out every day, pressure washed, and she's fed really good food, and got a whole fenced yard to play in when we're not at work. So she smells. Come on, here. So somebody's over there. Lucky. Somebody is over there or something, because she's definitely wanting to go inspect what's going on over there. So, but yeah, she lives with me 24/7, and she'll probably work until about 7 to 9 years. Again, German Shepherds are a long story, but someone way back in the day decided to breed them with sloped rear hips for this really neat sloped look. Problem was they genetically created a flaw in their hips, and so she's genetically predisposed to hip dysplasia and joint problems. So she's on a pretty good regimen of supplements with glucosamine and chondroitin, which she's been on since she's been a puppy, and we take really good care of her. But again, she's running and fighting with the best of them, so she'll work until she can't no more, and then she gets to retire with me, hopefully. That's typically 99% of the time the way it works. They allow the handler to buy him, in this case buy her, from the county for $1 to make it official, and then she gets to live out her days with me, which sucks because then I get to see her in her worst as she deteriorates towards death. But I wouldn't want it any other way, because nobody else should have her but me. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful.
That's a great
Thank you
thing.
for the opportunity to come
She knows your cats, Jeff.
She loves people. She really does. A lot of patrol
Yeah, she
dogs
can
are
smell my dog,
so
that's what she can.
high drive and can only think fight, 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 because that's what they're taught. But we're lucky. She's a German Shepherd, so her disposition is good. But she's also a female, which is they're a little more prone to be more level-headed than a lot of the male dogs. So, and just so you know, out of Oregon, there's only 4 female patrol dogs because of the stigma that male dogs, and they do bring some certain aspects to the game that females don't. But there's only 4 working patrol dogs in Oregon who are female, and our county has 2 of the 4 females.
Wow, that's great.
That is great.
So, yeah, as you can see, she's a love bug.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys get back to business. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. She probably smells cloves.
Pretty cool.
Well, now we get to.
That was a treat.
Yes, that was an unusual treat, that was good. Okay, let's move on to new business. The first item is the Depoe Bay Chamber of Commerce request for authorization to schedule the salmon bake in the city park on September. They want the city park from September 13th through 16th so that they can get it all set up and then get it all cleaned up after. Is there a motion someone would like to make? Yes.
I move that we approve the request.
By Gambino, seconded by Short. Any discussion? Call roll, please.
Webb,
Yes.
Bates. Grant. Callender.
Yes.
Short. Goddard.
Yes.
Gambino.
Yes.
So moved.
Motion is passed. Okay. Next item is the Ainsley Avenue and Melody Street overlay project.
No.
So the counties in the entire state of Oregon, but Lincoln County is in an emergency drought situation. There's a flyer in with your packet, signed by Secretary Dennis Richardson, and Kate Brown, our governor. So what we need to do, if there's any problems that the city has as far as the drought goes, say if we become problematic with, say, our pumps or something too, we qualify for funding if so be it. So, you know, if we really, we just have to kind of keep track of, as staff, if there's any problems that become of this drought that we have. We want to make sure that, you know, folks, as leaders in our community, we got to, you know, set precedents and, you know, use water wisely. We're in really good shape in Depoe Bay because we have a secondary source of one of the better sources in the county, which is Rocky Creek. That being said, you know, we can only treat and store so much water. So we have a 1 million gallon tank on one side of town, and we have the 750,000 on the south side. But there is some irrigation going on. We talked to one of our highest users, our World Market in the condos, and they do irrigate at night. So we're going to cut back on that and try to use water sparing and work with them. They had a leak too that they were able to find. I know Paul, our water plant operator, has been working quite a bit with them, getting information to get a hold of leak detecting company, and so they've really done well. So yeah, if there's any questions, I can try to answer. A lot of explanation and legal stuff's in there.
And you also have in your package this H2O Conserve, which has pages of suggestions. Do we have this available on the counter?
It's on the website on the homepage as well.
Ah, okay.
But H2O Oregon is great. It's a good magazine too. It's very informative.
Okay, super. All right, now, Ainsley
Now,
Avenue.
these cookie. So, so Ainsley Avenue, you know, end of Ainsley, we put fire protection lines in. It's got 2 new fire hydrants, 6-inch water main. It was being fed by a 2-inch line that fed 14 homes. And that's now moved in with a 6-inch main, and the crew, along with the contractor, did the digging, but our crew did all the water hookups and finding locates, and they did a great job. We kind of have our new utility crew on board. It's one of the bigger jobs they tackled. They were very proud of it. So it worked out great. We're at the point now where the sewer's been rehabbed. The water main's been replaced, service lines replaced. Talked to the gas company, talked to the phone company, cable TV. There's really no moratorium, but we let them know that we don't want any saw cutting once it's paid. So the worst thing you can do is pave a road and then have gas come in. We got to tear this out and you know, you have the seam, it's fixed, but there's always that patch. So this is to overlay from, which is Winchell Street to the end of Ainsley and then down Melody. So it's approximately a little over 700 feet. And then the width is between 16 to 18 feet. I got a bid from Geddes Paving, and also a bid from Road and Driveway. And Road and Driveway Company to get the overlay done. It is in the budget. It's the budget.
Grant?
Aye.
Callender? Short? Goddard?
Yes.
Gambino? Left? So moved.
Correspondence.
I have the embarrassing letter that the lady wrote to me. No, this one.
Oh, that, no.
Did you guys read this?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I didn't see that.
Let's Make America Kind Again?
Yes.
So if everybody read it, I don't have to reread it.
Oh,
Read.
Okay. Let's America kind again. Today I write to signify that Brady did a kind deed, his kind action, void of lie, void of any self-serving greed. Today to differ is to hate, to belittle, to bully, to dominate, to demean, portray superiority, dividing home and community. Okay, Brady, unselfishly, his gestures and actions, kindness, she goes on about single-handedly restored a desire for me, which we helped her, myself and the crew, we got her water turned off, she had a line explode in her house. And then, so at the end, she said, one community, Depoe Bay, welcoming and encouraging to make America kind again. So she was thankful, she just kind of did it in her way.
Booyah.
But anyway, so the crew and I got our water shut off, and then I went in after hours because she volunteers, senior, single, by herself, doesn't have any handyman help, so I just helped her out with stuff after hours. Got her stuff fixed. She wrote a letter to read to the council, but it's kind of embarrassing.
Any more correspondence?
This, so we did have a complaint from Valerie Sovereign. I'm still doing some investigation on it. I'm still gathering information. The sheriff's department, I don't know, does the council have copies of this?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, really, there's conflicting comments made in here that are untrue because I actually talked to firsthand witnesses. So it's still being reported to the police officer, the K9 animal control. So not this officer. Have a report, and I could get the council an update too, but it's really really young, infant stages of this, so I want to do a full reply to the complainant when I get all the facts. So I will be drafting a letter back to her, the complainant, Mrs. Sovereign, and let her know that I'm working with the sheriff's department on this issue, and really, yeah, it's kind of, let's leave it at that.
I thought it was rather dramatic, the way it was written. And so I think I would just, gosh, if it were anybody else, I doubt that she would even have written it, but.
Oh, no, she wouldn't have written it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is not personal.
You all don't have to be tiptoeing around. The complaint was against my husband, and I was mentioned as a secondary person in there, and I was not present when any of it happened, and it is being investigated, and we have talked at length with the sheriff's department and with the animal shelter, and they know, they have our point of view, and our dog is still where he belongs, which is the real answer to the whole thing, and so that's that. Yes.
These kind of things happen. That's all, and fortunately nobody was injured. People get on with their lives, try and make adjustments to not let it happen again. It is what it is. That's my view.
Okay. Next, any more correspondence?
I do have a couple. Received a letter, I believe you all have an email from Tina French with North Lincoln
Yes.
Sanitary concerning the asbestos and demolition materials. Just want to bring that to your attention that there will be some changes made on how that's handled, and she has her proposed rates included with that.
They'll actually refuse, from what I found out at SWAC, they can refuse like whole dumpsters if there's something in there, like old laminate tile from an old floor that somebody pulled out of their kitchen, it's rolled up and in a dumpster, they can refuse the whole, so it's there's asbestos inspections that are coming up.
When I read that, her letter, it sounds like this is going to really add cost to people who do remodeling. A dramatic increase. Any house that's built before January 1st, 2004, they are going to go through everything you take to the dump and charge you. This is like $2,000 for a big load. Extra. That's a lot. But I understand why they're doing it. And then they have to drive it all the way to Hillsborough? Wow.
So we have asbestos pipe. When we do old jobs, there's this old pipe that's in the ground that we have to wrap like a burrito. And then when they take it to this disposal site, it's still the city's. It has our information on there. So anything in the future, it's still ours. If it has to be moved again, which is really, the laws are really, really stringent.
Anything else, Jeff?
Larry Lewis received a letter from Larry Hitchcock, who has the building in which the High Cascades Cannabis store is located. The High Cannabis store. Yeah. He has an apartment above it, and the ordinances read that it cannot be occupied by the owner of the cannabis shop. He has asked if he could use it as a tourist accommodation. And Larry and I both went over all the ordinances, and we saw no reason why he could not do that. So we told him that's fine. Bring in a little more TRT for us. So it's a win-win on that one. And else at this time.
A lot of pizzas delivered to that.
We can move on to council comments. Who wants to go first, Jerome or Debbie?
Oh, I think the meeting was running well today. It's like a dog. I've loved this comment. Well, a mentality, they always had a partner next to them. And I think it could prevent a lot of problems between police and the public if there was two officers there on anything. But here you got well-trained animals that could, I would like to see more of this, where dog patrols, it just would ensure the safety of the officer, rather than just not have a partner. Anyway, that's my comment. Thank you very much.
Okay, Robert.
No additional comments, thank you.
I can comment a little bit on the stair. So we had Al look at them, and he said they're OSHA compliant, but if we want to put in a toe kick or I talked with the crew too about, say somebody's dog can go running out of their hands and right off through the center area, there's a little landing. We may put up some cyclone mesh. I think it'd be a good idea that we do something. So we're going to add a little bit of safety to it. And then he said, yeah, just let me know, take a look at it, or send me a photo. But anything we want to add, they were fine with. But as far as like if we wanted to just say, this is all we want, it's compliant, but it can be updated and upgraded. So, yeah. I learned a big learning curve over there.
O'clock. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I can't resist this. That man sitting there has written more